What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So today is the big day. The Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League gameplay exposition is what I'm going to call this, because we've seen some somewhat gameplay, modified reveals here and there, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it. I also wanted to take the opportunity to go ahead and shout out someone here in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League community, DC Games community, that has been on top of the news, pretty much looking forward to the game. Another content creator that I really do value their content and their addition to this community, and that is a content creator named I'm Life of Dreads. Now, I'm Life of Dreads is always on top of the news, talking about, the game in a very, very fan-based light. And I think the contributions that he has made to this particular game have been monumental, in my opinion, right here on social media. So if you want to do me a favor, I would not mind if you actually go on his, YouTube channel, and it's a link right here on his Twitter page, and maybe subscribe and maybe watch his videos. Just check out the content and vibe with it, because if you're a fan in this community, I think all of the creators here are very valuable, because if you think about it too, there are not really a lot of people who are actually looking at and covering this game, and I'm sure some of you are already in his ecosystem. So I wanted to take the opportunity to highlight that, because I think we need to celebrate our games as much as those who actually create content for the games that we're looking forward to. And there are other considerations as well. I think somebody in one of my other comments said something along the lines of, "Man, I wish they just revert this game away from being a live service game, man, and make it single player. Maybe that's what the delay has been all this while." And I was like, well, there's a possibility. There are these elements that people continue to cite, that Gotham Knights was going to be some kind of an RPG looter game of some kind, and then they decided to change it because it has all the elements that seem like it was. I think a lot of people probably, maybe they see a loot box and they kind of associate the Avengers game to this game. But in reality, I think the Division is actually the game that Gotham Knights kind of gets its core aspects from. And if anything, I think Suicide Squad might be following that similar, pattern, or maybe some GTA-esque type, development, in my opinion. I don't know. We need to see how the game is and be able to kind of tell. And I think today is going to be really, really telling of a whole lot of stuff surrounding the game. I'm going to be looking at the gameplay from the, perspective of its structure. I will be looking at gameplay mechanics. I'm sure many of you are going to be doing the exact same thing as well. And I think we're going to be able to come to a better understanding as to exactly what this game is. Because, for most of you, you don't necessarily realize, that understanding a game is very, very important. And the reason I'm actually pointing these things out and coming forward with this entire conversation is because if you actually were to consider, how these things are, relayed to, communities, a lot of folk here in our community, we are in a place where, a lot of people get to be, in a sense, exposed to video games before we in the community, like reviewers, people like IGN and all of the above. But many of these folk don't necessarily understand the nature of the games. We saw this with Gotham Knights. A lot of you saw, if you played Gotham Knights, how people miscategorize the game. I have quotes and quotes and quotes from reviewers across the internet, big reviewers, that said things that were outrightly, just false about the game. And if we come to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and not have that core understanding of the game, many of us might get, misinformed. And so this is one of the reasons we're doing stuff like this as well. Again, I would like to also highlight another creator in our space, and I left this one for, the juicy part of the video, because this is a creator that's always on top of news as well. And this is Suevi Casanova Pablo, who does a lot of threads about, video games, and gives very huge, I would say, dense packets of information when it comes to video games. Like, literally, if you want to do read a thread about something that will give you a lot of information that's going to pack it all in, you can come on Suevi Casanova's, Twitter page as well and follow. I will leave links in the description for these gentlemen's, Twitter pages and YouTube pages, so that you guys can kind of dial into more of the community that's following these games. So thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience. Looking forward to what the developers at Rocksteady are going to be showing today, and I'm sure many of you are as well. Thanks once again, and we'll talk pretty soon, hopefully in another one. Peace out.